You don't have to have the title of project manager to be a project manager. Some of the strongest project leaders and project managers I've ever seen didn't start with that title. They were teachers, they were admin assistants, and nurses. They weren't calling themselves project managers, but they were organizing, they were anticipating, and leading long before anyone changed their job description. And that's what I want to talk about today, how leadership shows up in unexpected places and why the skills you already have might be more project management than you think. Welcome back to the Project Manager Connect show. I am your host, Anna Anderson. I'm a career coach, a PMP trainer, the founder of Women in Project Management Network and the Project Training Network. This show is where we talk about all things project management, not just certification, but the mindset, the real life stories, and the unexpected paths that lead people here. Today, I want to share 3 stories of women I've worked with, women who started in very different roles and who went on to become incredible, successful project managers. The first story is about a teacher. When she came to me, she said, Anna, I've never managed a project. But then she told me how her school rolled out a brand new reading curriculum. Who was she on that project? She was the lead. She was the project manager. She researched programs. She worked with other teachers. She got approval for a grant from her school's district. She trained staff. She shared with parents and tracked how students responded. That's a project. Multiple stakeholders. She had a timeline. She had communication plans. She had risks. But she didn't see it that way because no one ever called it project management. When she eventually started working and realizing that project management was a space that she wanted to be in, she realized she'd been doing project management for years. She just did not have that vocabulary in the title yet. She also ended up going through formal training, realized she had the skills, she had the knowledge, she had the expertise to help her transition into project management. The second story is about an admin assistant. She was the one behind the scenes. She was scheduling board meetings, keeping her executive organized, following up on deadlines, things like that. She thought of it as support work. But let's break that down. Scheduling a board meeting, that's coordinating a milestone, tracking tasks, that's stakeholder management. When she started learning more about project management, it clicked. And I remember her saying this, I've been doing this work for a long time. I just didn't know how to explain it. And that's the moment things changed for her. Training gave her the language, confidence gave her presence, and together they helped her step into that project management leadership role. And then there was the nurse. She once told me, Anna, every shift feels like running a project. She was actually right. She was coordinating stuff. In fact, she was a charge nurse, coordinating stuff, adjusting resources, planning for patient surgeries, and dealing with emergencies in real time. That's project management under pressure. That's risk planning, resource allocation, issue tracking. When she later got exposure to project management training, it gave her a framework. And now she was able to transition to managing projects in healthcare because she was already one of the strongest project managers on her floor. And that's the pattern I've seen again and again. You don't need a title to lead. You don't need permission to think like a project manager. But when you pair the skills you already have with the language and structure of training, that's when opportunities start to open up. The teacher had been running projects all along. The admin assistant was already coordinating at a very high level. Training helped her connect the dots. And the nurse had instincts for risk and planning. Training helped her prove it on paper. That combination, experience plus training, is very, very powerful. The reason why I'm talking about training is because just because you have the soft skills, you still need to learn a little bit of project management lingo so that you're able to incorporate your skills and also what you have learned from training into your leadership role in project management. So here's my reminder for you today. You don't have to wait for a job title to start being a project manager. If you're a teacher, you likely already run more projects than you realize. If you're an admin assistant, you've been managing milestones and stakeholders for years. If you're a nurse, you've been doing real-time project management with people's lives on the line. The title will come later. The training will help you name it. And whatever training you do, you can do training on LinkedIn Learning, you can do Coursera courses, you can come to my class if you want. There's tons of places that you can do training. Your mindset, though, has to shift because you can step into that project manager role if you want to, if you have the right mindset. All right. So thanks for joining me on this episode. Until next time, keep leading like it's already yours. Okay.